So, in case you missed it, I got slightly sloshed and had the brilliant idea to start recording myself and started comparing the differences between the Zune scanlations and the official 7 Seas translations of the recently released volume in English, as they just came out with volume 14, and that has one of my personal favorite chapters, chapter 114, A Sundaresque Date. And it was honestly a lot of fun. The yappening curse from Chaos Squared must have gotten to me because I somehow talked for over an hour straight. And judging from the views and likes, it seems like you guys must have liked it too. So leave me some suggestions on what older chapters you'd like me to tackle and go over. I got a couple ideas, but I can always use more. Now, on to the real show, the review. I'm Moonlight150, and this is my overview of the latest 100 Girlfriends manga chapter, chapter 219. Missy Nemu's a real sleep guardian, you hear? As always, I won't be going over everything as I encourage you to read the chapter for yourself, where the good people over at Zune Scans post them so you can support their hard work. And don't forget to support the official release in your region to support the hard work of the actual creators. Now, time to catch some Z's. It's lunchtime on the rooftop yet again as we catch up with the recent new besties of Nemu and Rin. It's nice to see their friendship that they forged from their double date with Hikari and Karane is still going strong. But as Nemu dozes in and out of sleep, Ms. Natty can't help but notice her mastery of the craft of falling asleep wherever and whenever, and now wishes to learn from the best. But that's easier said than done as Nemu confesses that it's not much of a skill as she's just constantly falling asleep from being so tired all the time. But that's not enough to sway Ms. Natty from wanting to learn as she praises Nemu's ability to sleep wherever and whenever, calling it a superpower. And for the first time in her life, Nemu is happy that her sleeping didn't come as a detriment to other people, and is instead being praised for it. Are you sure about that, Nemu? I mean, you got a boyfriend who's totally accepting of it. I should know. I did a whole award-winning video about it. Natty then begins to look for tips on how to acquire such a power, but Nemu just reiterates that she isn't doing anything special and that she's just constantly tired and drowsy. Sleeping is all that she just thinks about. Taking this as her first lesson, Ms. Natty tries to employ these tactics, but in reverse. So she'll just try to think about only sleep, and hope that in turn makes her drowsy. Now, with Natty trying to force herself to sleep, let's see what's going on in her mind.
I'm sleeping, I'm sleeping! Oh, what a world, what a world! So I am in trouble!
Make it double!
Tricks are for kids.
Ah, finally, an accurate representation of how my brain operates. Though this experiment proves fruitless for Natty, this prompts Nemu to try another tactic by taking Ms. Natty to her favorite napping spot, the one that she shared with Tama in that recent daily life. Don't you just love continuity? And the bench works its magic as Nemu instantly conks out mid-sentence. Hoping much like how you can pass yawns to one another, Natty hopes that seeing Nemu sleep can make her more sleepy, and she tries to pass out on the bench as well. But her mind is still racing with the thoughts of freedom, so much so that we even got ourselves a little freedom dance with Natty. Actually, that sounds like a good idea. Alright everyone, time for the mid-video stretch. Stand up and do your own little freedom dance just like Ms. Natty.
Enjoying your freedom, you've forsaken your mother, your family, the house of Yamato. You've forced your younger sister to shoulder it all.
Though the nap was successful, it seemed like it triggered whatever the hell that was, as we now have a glimpse into Ms. Natty's psyche, and this unrestful nap prompted Nemu to wake her up. Now with the secret out of the bag, Ms. Natty confesses that she's been plagued by nightmares for a while now. Thus this has been making her look for new ways to get some proper rest, such as getting advice from the sleeping master that Nemu is. Distraught that someone's sleep is being interrupted because, as Nemu puts it, sleeping is when someone is supposed to be at their happiest. Amen to that, sister. I love sleeping. Also, what's going on with the page layout here? It literally just decapitates Nemu here so they can just put a note in. A note that reads, per Nemu's reckoning, her favorite date with Rentaro was their nap date. Which one? Isn't that like all your dates? I count like 4. But now with really wanting to help Ms. Natty, Nemu invites her over for a sleepover. Which just reminds me how much I want a full-on sleepover chapter. Maybe even a 2-part arc of all the girlfriends hanging out at a sleepover. Maybe without Rentaro around as well. Just gonna put that on my hopes and wants list. So that night which we see this shot seems to imply that Nemu lives in her grandparents' workshop? Does that mean Nemu lives with her grandparents? Where are her parents? Huh, another mystery for the list. Though I guess they could possibly live in the apartment complex that's right next to the shop here, but I think this shot is supposed to imply being at the workshop itself, which means it has a living quarters on top with the shop below. Hooray for new girlfriend lore. Turns out Nemu has done a lot of research on sleeping to help with her constant drowsiness. Makes sense given the character. And the first method she recommends is a long bath, so the two of them do just that, and yeah, that's a lot of skin. We might need to blur some things here, Earl. YouTube has been on our ass ever since the motorboating incident a couple videos ago. Just a little bit more. Little more. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and good. That should be good enough. As the bath commences, Nemu is so constantly sleepy that just closing her eyes to have Ms. Natty wash her hair knocks her out. Which sleeping mode Nemu goes into full attack mode and starts helping Natty out as well by returning the favor. But then sleeping mode Nemu mistakes Natty's God-given pillows for, well, pillows, and decides to help herself. No, it's okay, YouTube. She was just face first into some pillows. See? Pillows. She even says so right here. Earl, move on to the next panel before they catch on. After the bath, Nemu recommends some stretching and massaging to help one get to sleep, as well as reading a book, which both work splendidly on Nemu, but that doesn't really take much. As they hop into bed, Nemu recommends avoiding negative thoughts right before going to bed. So in Natty's mind, that's just flipping the bird to all negative thoughts, which I'm in total support of. But that doesn't seem to work because, much like myself, the less you do, the more thinking you do. So Nemu busts out the old try and true, that when something is bothering you, you just need to talk it out with someone. And this is where we get a nice look behind the curtain of Ms. Natty as a character, that she is suffering a form of survivor's guilt, with feeling guilty with how happy she is with being with Rentaro and hanging out with the rest of the family. But that happiness only came from leaving everything and everyone she knew behind, particularly how she forced to bear the burden of upholding the Yamato household, but in leaving, she threw all those problems onto her sister. And because of that, Ms. Natty wonders if she is allowed to be happy, because her happiness only came at the suffering of others. Now in the conundrum of not knowing of how to help her friend and wanting to make her happy, sleeping mode Nemu takes over and draws a metaphor of her suffering due to the lurking shadow of the House of Yamato onto a pillow, and then proceeds to beat it up with her level 1 super straight out of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
I've got a bad feeling.
And then gives her a reassuring hug just for good measure. And I know I like to talk about heights a lot in this series, but come on, look at this. This is a 24-year-old woman and a middle schooler, and they are the same height. Damn. With the support of a friend, Ms. Natty is finally able to get some proper sleep and live her dreams to the fullest. Her dream is being Captain Murica, of course. And when her guilt nightmares leak back in comes Nemu for the assist and pushes those nightmares away. So what did we learn here, kids? When something is bothering you, just beat it up. Violence solves everything.
Oi!
Look,
Moon.
please, violence is never the solution.
And as the morning comes, it seems all that support finally helped Ms. Natty get a full night's rest, which prompts her to give Nemu a hug as thanks for all her support, and she recommends they have another sleepover sometime in the future. Yes, let's do it. But the hug was so comfortable it knocks Nemu out cold yet again, which Maddie tries to wake her up, otherwise they'd be late for school. Later on, we learn that apparently the Yamato household sent someone to try to get Ms. Natty to come back by swapping out the stuffing in her pillow with that from ones from the Yamato household. Guess that explains why her survivor's guilt has been amplified recently. Also, can we just take a moment to appreciate Ms. Natty's room here with all the Captain America stuff? And there we have it, another chapter in the books and probably a new favorite of mine in the making. I've been saying for quite a while that Ms. Natty felt like she had some good plot just waiting to come out. And with the way this chapter ends, it certainly feels like it. I'm getting a lot of Toph from Avatar Season 2 vibes from this.
I am not Toph. I am Melon Lord.
With the rich family sending people to bring their daughter back home. Not to mention confirmation that she has a younger sister. And yeah, when Natty up and left her old life behind, her younger sister suddenly had to take on all the responsibilities of being the next head of the Yamato household, whatever that entails. Please let this lead to some kind of arc where we meet Natty's sister and confront her parents, and so much more. This backstory of hers has been lingering for too long, and you're just now gonna tease us like that and probably make us wait another 100 chapters until it shows up again? Please don't. Please. Anyway, besides lore and backstory implications for the characters, and maybe even the family as a whole, I just personally love these kinds of chapters because besides constantly adding new and fun characters, the other strength of this manga lies in the fact that, yeah, you take one look at the title of this series and go, hee, high school boy dates a bunch of girls, shenanigans ensue, but the real backbone of the series is the fact that Rentaro's family is the ultimate support group for every member. They all go out of their way to help one another, which is definitely not something you expect when you pick up a manga with a title like The 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You, until you actually sit down and read 219 chapters and go, but that will do it here. Surprisingly, no break week just yet, so we're still plowing right onto the next chapter. We're gonna need to refuel to keep on going like this. Good thing our next stop is back to the ramen shop.
I want to eat ramen and you won't let me.
I've been Moonlight150, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all with a big bowl of ramen next week. And there we have another. And there we have it.